You set the next bag on the counter. Your older sister began to read around inside for the contents with a sigh. How much is left? Still a few more bags. With a huff and a puff, Elizabeth continued putting away the groceries, and you retreated. So my job is to take the bags out. She stocks. Which makes sense, because I'm really bad at stocking. Continue putting away the groceries, and you retreated out of the kitchen before you could become the target of her bad mood.
Careful.
You hadn't been looking where you were going and bumped right into Mom, almost stepping on her toes to boot. Sorry. I can give you pass this time, but be sure to rewatch where you're going. If you run into the wrong person, you might get your license revoked. She grins at the bad joke as you continue through the door. Outside, Ma has started organizing what remained and putting back any loose objects that had fallen out during the trip. When you stepped up to the trunk beside her, she took in a big breath of air, her dress gently swaying around in the breeze.
It's a shame.
We had to spend this morning cooped up in that shopping center. It's a beautiful day, don't you think? You tilted your head to the sky, gazing at the clear blue expanse. Yeah, it is. Days like today are my favorite. It's too hot. I wish it was raining. I like it when it's stormy. The best. Days like today. Let's say it's my favorite. Yeah, it is. You closed your eyes and enjoyed the day. You enjoyed the way the sun warmed your face for a few moments before turning back to help Ma with the groceries. Oh, hi, Cove. You noticed Mom wave over at Cove, who had just exited his front door, his surfboard propped up under one arm. Oh, he can surf. Of course he can surf. That's his father totally taught him. Let me see. Surfboard and wetsuit. Where might you be off to on this beautiful day? Oh, look at him. Cove flinched at being called so suddenly. He hadn't realized there were people out here already, but he quickly recovered. Good one, Mrs. Storm. He crossed the pavement to properly say hello to you and your moms. Hello, honey. It's a beautiful day for surfing. I hadn't been out on the waves in a long time. I'm jealous. Cove smiled, pleased to have people around who shared his hobby. I'm hoping to get a few good waves before it gets dark. Do you want to come hang out there later, Z? Sure, I'll meet you there when we're done. Oh yeah, I could do that. Alright, I can't this time. I say, sure, I'll meet you there when we're done.
Cool.
Can I help out with anything?
No.
This is our job. You go enjoy the beach. Z can catch up as soon as she's finished here. Alright, I'll see you. Yeah. You watch as Cove headed off towards the beach, unable to hide your grin, knowing that you'd be joining him soon. That sounds like a line where, like, I have a crush on him, but I said fond, you know? Once everything had finally been taken in and put away, you put yourself ready to meet Cove at the beach. You had a surfboard in your room that you wanted to take with you. Normally a surfboard around here somewhere. You weren't sure what you were going to do. He was surfing and you didn't know how. I'd go with the last option. Because, like, I'm really not sure. Because, like, I have family in Hawaii. But I'm not sure if I grew up there. Would I know how to surf? Because I definitely live in a place here where I definitely don't know how to surf. So I'll go with that last option. Because who knows? You said the same thing to your mom and you said the same thing to your parents, and while Mom laughed a little, Mom gave you a smile.
Well,
You'll just have to go there and see what happens. Cove must have been so excited to invite you there that he forgot you don't surf. Or he's hoping you'll go watch him so he can show off. Oh yes, I used to do that. What are they talking about? I know, hun. I experienced Z's situation firsthand. I was stuck on the shore too. You noticed what I was doing? Yes, after the very first time, it's not a subtle move. How embarrassing. I was still impressed. Oh, thank you. Wow, Ma.
right.
What are you still doing here? Go on, have your fun. They know. They're shippers. You're only young once, but don't do anything I wouldn't have. Okay. At your parents prodding, you hurried to leave the house and head down to the beach. When you arrived at the shore, you were greeted by the crash of waves and the soft calls of seagulls. You took in a lungful of the ocean air and felt your peachy skin warm in the sun. You noticed a small setup nearby with a towel, some sunscreen, and a bottle of water. This must be Cove's. You spotted Cove himself nearby. He hadn't gone out to sea yet. He was just sitting in the sand at the water's edge, his board propped up beside him. You strolled up beside him. Hey, I'm here. See. He looked up at you with a smile and quickly hopped to his feet. I was wondering if you were still coming. I wouldn't miss it. Sorry you had to wait. And stay inside all day? I don't think so. I wouldn't have missed it. He chuckled shyly at your insistence. Okay. Then he cast his eyes out towards the waves. What am I supposed to do while you surf? I'll stay here and watch you surf. I'm going to find something to do. I'll stay here and watch you surf. You are ready to spread out your towel and take it easy. I don't have to go out. I'll stay with you on shore. Or, if you want, you could use one of my other boards. I could teach you. You'd rather just watch Cove surf. You accepted the offer to hang out on the beach. You wanted to try surfing. Yeah, I'd go for the teaching. I'll do it. Let's surf. Cool. It was settled. Cove left off the shore and then returned with an extra board under his arm in no time at all. He paddled out into the sea to where the good waves were. The water was cool against your skin.
It's nice.
Not too calm, but nothing crazy. It looks perfect today. He smiled at you, and you couldn't help but smile back. You felt totally content until Cove kicked the water a little too hard and inadvertently splashed you. Hey! Sorry. The apology didn't come across as especially repentant, as he was practically laughing when he said it. Sorry. You splashed him back. You let it go. I totally splashed him back. You laughed, but waited for an opening for revenge. The second he looked away, you kicked back, spraying him.
Seriously?
Is that any way to treat someone trying to help? Come on, I came out here to teach you. And I was just following your example. Cove tried to keep a straight face, but ended up looking away. The water you flicked at him landed in shiny droplets in his hair. And then here's another lesson. He soaked you deliberately this time. He used his full leg, and an impressive curtain of water hit you in the face. You lost your balance and scrambled to keep a hold of the board. You just managed to stay on, but it was close. Cove winced. Are you okay? That wasn't what I was trying to do. I'm fine, but we should do the real teaching. Yeah. He chuckled awkwardly and shook some water out of his hair. With that, Cove started telling you all the tips and tricks of how to stay on a surfboard. He demonstrated both good and bad posture and explained where you need to push your weight. Like this? You wiggled your body so that you were more in the center of your board. Cove nodded. Yep, just like that. The lesson continued, and things clicked with you instantly. I had to go slowly, but you got it. You kind of struggled. It was disastrous. I've literally never gone surfing before, so I don't know how my teaching would go. I think usually when my friends teach me stuff though, I'm a pretty quick learner. But depending on the thing, but I guess this is a physical thing. I'll say it had to go slowly, but you got it. Cove did his best, guys. Best to guide you through this process, and by the end you felt like you had picked up the basics of surfing. Since you spent so much time working on balance and stable water, you wondered when you'd actually get to catch some waves. You brought it up to Cove and he nodded. If you think you're ready, go for it. You'll do great. Alright. With that, you graduated from Cove's class, and the two of you were able to surf together more casually, even if he was still better at it. One afternoon, the setting sun was visible on the horizon. Every time you would look away, it had sunk a little lower. The beach was darkening, but still pleasantly warm. You knew you could get out of the water, for it was completely dark in the sea. You rode one last wave to get back to the beach. There you picked up your surfboard and gave it a quick once-over. Cove followed behind you to the shore. He put his board with his other things and grabbed his towel to start drying off. As he ruffled his hair with the towel, you watched the sunset together. The colors were beautiful in the distance, and the shadows around you deepened. There was no need for words between you two as you both enjoyed the sight for a moment. Cove broke the silence. The waves were good today, I think. Is he blushing? Oh. I probably wouldn't know. Did you really think so? He nodded mildly. You chatted a little more until the conversation truly died out, and all you heard was the rhythmic sound of waves, then Cove sighed. The day can't be over. Not yet. It's whatever. Hopefully it's fine. He's gone into the distance as if the sun exiting the sky was a personal offense. Did I miss anything there? No, we're good. Don't you think it should be longer? Yeah, it felt long enough for me. Only a shrug could express your feelings at that. on that matter? I'd say yeah, sure. I mean, it was a good day. Cove set her straight in defiance of the approaching darkness. I'm not gonna go home yet. I wanna go somewhere I don't know. Cove was still dripping in salt water, so you weren't sure what the alternative was. Wetsuits were fine for the beach and not much else. It wasn't a good idea for him to lug his surfboard around town either. You'll be real cute in that wetsuit wherever you go. Well, I need to call it a night. Yeah, I want to do something too. We'll sure be welcome anywhere. Soaking wet like this. I was kind of tempted for the first option, not gonna lie, but I think I'm gonna go with the last option. Cove finally took note of his current state and laughed. He shrugged. Then he looked down the shore with wide, shining eyes. There's at least one place that's always okay to hang out in, no matter what time it is. The park. You nodded. The park was virtually always empty. Even Elizabeth only went over there nowadays if she was looking for you. How times have changed. She used to be so protective of the place. In fact, the only person there was a chance of running into might be that Jeremy kid again. I brought the idea up to Cove and he cringed, but I'm still going. The sun is still there, a little. I'm staying out as long as it is. Tagged along and went home. Of course I would tag along. Okay, let's go. Cove took a minute to put his stuff in order. He made sure to get it all. Oh, it didn't take much care to shake the sand off. You dealt with your own things. You stuffed everything together quickly. You took your time to pack your bag. I'd stuff it together quickly. I'm done, Cove. He rolled his eyes with a bent smile at the announcement. He led the way down the beach to the park. It wasn't far, so it didn't take you long at all. The sun still hadn't completely disappeared just yet when you made your arrival. Cove stuck his surfboard upright in the sand and tossed his towel over top. By now, the two of you were mostly dry. The summer breeze on your skin kept you pleasantly warm. Cove idly went over to the monkey bars. He grabbed them, feet flat on the ground, and pretended to go across. He had definitely grown in the past few years. You're still short enough to use the monkey bars yourself. Sometimes being tiny had its perks. Yes, that is the way you gotta look at it. When he got to a bar in the middle, Cove pulled himself up and through, then sat on top of the bars. His legs was angled on the side of the bar he perched on. I would totally join him on the monkey bars. I love the monkey bars. You looked above yourself to inspect the monkey bars. You might have been short, but then just gave you more experience in climbing things. You leaped and grabbed at one of the bars, using the moments to swing yourself up. It took a little more scrambling, but you made it to the top. Cove seemed impressed. He settled on the monkey bar like it was a throne. You didn't get to be above everything often. Guess what? He smiled broadly and raised an eyebrow. He's not here. Right, it was true. There wasn't a single sign of Jeremy. Looks like it was just going to be the two of you tonight. Cove hung his head and groaned dramatically. Your eyes widened when he whipped his head back up.
No way.
I can't believe how dumb my parents are for forcing me to come to this stupid place. You were taken back and blinked for a second before you realized he was quoting Jeremy. Ugh. Haha, don't scare me like that. One Jeremy is enough. That's not really nice. Funny, but not nice. You don't have to tease him. Parents don't know anything. Don't scare me like that. One Jeremy is enough. Cove chuckled back at you, mischievous glint in his eyes. You looked around the old park, the streets you knew like the back of your hand, and the beach. These were your stomping grounds. You wondered how Cove actually felt. How much was his joke just a joke, and how much was sincere dislike of this place. Moving had never been his choice. Do you actually like this neighborhood? I know you don't think it's dumb. You let the sentence stretch between you two. Do you actually like this neighborhood? Do you really have to ask that, Z? Cove kicked his legs carelessly as they dangled. He smiled softly. I like it here. I really do. It's a nice place. He didn't hesitate. There was no uncertainty. That was a genuine opinion. Yeah, well, at least one person likes it here. You nodded wordlessly. Well, of course. I'm here after all. You're investing in the neighborhood, Cove. I'd probably go for the second one. Well, of course. I'm here after all. He shook his head with a rueful smile. It didn't take long for the day to finally draw to a close. The sun was gone and it was dark. You chatted a while longer, but it was definitely winding down. When I get home, I'm not gonna say anything, honestly. He chose not to say anything. He sat in the dark in the silence. Cove shifted position so that his back was on the monkey bars and he could look up at the stars. I wonder how comfortable that could be. Look at the moon, it's so clear tonight. You glanced up and saw a great gibbous moon swelling over the sky. Few clouds covered the sparkling stars above. Too bad we can't stay forever. Cove sighed. It was time to go home. He hopped down from the monkey bars with a thump when his feet hit the ground. You clambered down the monkey bars yourself. You lowered yourself more slowly than Cove and barely made a sound when your feet reached the ground. Cove grabbed the surfboard and threw his towel around his neck. With his water bottle in hand, he was ready.